Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video we are going to be continuing our top 100 favorite games in our collection. Today we are going to be looking at my 70th through 61st favorite game in our collection. Now I have used Pub Meeple, the ranking engine, for ranking all of these games. If you guys are not familiar with Pub Meeple, check out the link in our description below. Pub Meeple is essentially a ranking engine where not only can you just rank board games, but you can rank a bunch of different other stuff, books and whatnot like that. But specifically with board games, you're able to link your BGG account to Pub Meeple, or more so, they pull up your BGG account, and any of the games that you have as selected, collected, or owned, they will pull up a list for that, and then you can hit a ranking button where it's going to put these games side by side, and you are going to choose one. And after a lengthy process, it's going to spit out a list for you. So that is the list that we are using for all of these videos. But I hope you guys have been enjoying this series, and let's go ahead and dive into today's video, taking a look at my 70th favorite game in our collection. Here we are with game number 70. We have Deep Dive, okay? Deep Dive is a fun push your luck kind of game, and let me zoom in the camera here just a little bit. Deep Dive is a fun push your luck game, around 15 to 20 minutes per player, ages 1 to 6, or 1 to 6 players, ages 10 plus. And what you are doing is you are kind of like a penguin, right? And you are diving into the ocean to collect food. And there are 5 different levels here of tiles that you will be flipping. And you are going to be it's going to be a set collection type game where you are collecting different sets, colors of these different food tiles that you flip over. And the push your luck aspect comes in is because you can start, everybody will start at level 1. And so then you will flip over a tile. And if it is a food tile, you have the option to take it or go on to the next level, and so forth and so on. However, you do have to be careful of predators that are lurking amongst these tiles that will stop your progress. And so it's just a very easy to pick up, very quick playtime, and it has like a rush of excitement down here, especially when you're looking at your other players, like you're trying to get down to this 5th level and they're trying to do the same thing, and you're watching them just flip over tiles, and then they flip over a predator, and everybody's like, oh no. But yeah, just a super fun push your luck type of game. One of the few push your luck kind of games in our collection here, but I very much enjoy this one just for the ease of play and the quick play time. So my 70th favorite game in our collection here is Deep Dive. All right, taking a look at number 69, we have Citadels, okay? Citadels is a 2 to 8 player game, 30 to 60 minutes, ages 10 plus. And Citadels, the best kind of comparison of Citadels is like Love Letter, right? Where there are 8 different roles on the table, and everybody's going to be drafting a role, and that role is going to have a number, and you're going to go in sequential order, and when your number is called, you are going to activate your person that you have. So you have the architect, the cardinal, the king is usually in the original game. Now there's more than one of each number, right? So like in this sequence, the partition is number 4. In the easy version of the game, there is the king is number 4, right? And so there's kind of different ways and different roles with the same number to play the game and mix and match. So this is just a very good, solid party game. Every once in a while, we do meet up with a bunch of friends and have around 6 to 10 players. The premise, I should get to the premise of the game, is you're going to be collecting gold and then use this gold to build districts in your city. And once a player has built a certain number of districts, that will kind of trigger the end of the game. But just a very fun, classic, adds a little bit more depth to Love Letter, I would say, type of party game here, and this is Citadel. So my 69th favorite game in our collection. All right, moving on to number 68, and along the same vine, of Citadels, right, we have Hollywood 1947. So Hollywood 1947 is another party game, 1 to 9 players, ages 14 plus and 20 to 40 minutes. And essentially you guys collectively are going to be making a movie. And everybody's going to have a different role in this movie. So, you're going to have a director, an actor, an actress, a costume person, a sound effects person. And so, similarly to Citadels and Love Letter, your role is going to have a number, and you guys are going to go in a sequential order. And when your number gets called, you have the option to do a couple of different things. And where I think this game is higher, where I like this game better than Citadels is you have a almost, like I said, you guys are collectively making a movie, but the table is split into communists and democracy people, I guess you want to say. Not really it's not really Democrats, but people who are against communism. Okay, democracy. We'll just say democracy. And there's going to be a certain number. It's not split down to half. There's only going to be about 2 or 3 communists, and they are working together to put communist propaganda into the movie. And so everybody else is trying to prevent that from happening. And so, like I said, you're going to be playing cards into this movie and putting propaganda in there. And it's going to be this majority rules, as that once everybody has taken their turn, we're going to look at all the propaganda that has been placed in this movie. And if there's more communist propaganda than democracy propaganda, then the communists have succeeded. And the first team to win or gain their objective in 4 different movie titles is the winner. However, what's really cool is they have another way or another role called the Rising Star. And somebody around the table will be a Rising Star, and they will know it, but nobody else will. And so there are 7 rounds in the game, and if both teams are tied 3-3, in the 7th round, the Rising Star has the opportunity to win the game as well. So both teams can kind of lose. So it's this cool, like, you guys are 2 teams are competing against each other, but then there's also like this secret traitor mechanic, because the Rising Star is going to be on that democracy side, but she's trying to make sure that she can win the game overall as well. So this for me is a higher up on the list in terms of a party game than Citadels for those reasons I outlined outlined just now. So this is my 68th favorite game in our collection, Hollywood 1947. All right, moving on to game number 67 here, we have Tokaido Duo. All right, this is the 2-player version of Tokaido, and I really enjoy this. This is about 20 to 30 minutes, 2 players and ages 8 plus. This basically does everything that I love that Tokaido does, but in a compact 2-player version. And so I love this version as a 2-player game a lot better than regularly playing Tokaido, and so that's why it is this high up on the list. Tokaido did not make my top 100 list, and I would say the reason for that is because I don't feel Tokaido works really well as a 2-player game, but now you have a duo version of that, and so this is definitely on that list. So my 67th favorite game in our collection here is Tokaido Duo. All right, moving on to game number 66, we have Through the Desert. All right, we recently picked up Through the Desert actually sometime in June over this summer, and man, me and Sierra have grown to love this game. This is a 2 to 5 player game, 45 minutes, and for ages 11 plus. And essentially what you are doing is you are going to have these different caravans of camels and these different colors, and on your turn you are going to, you will have a leader, and your leader is out on this board, and you are going to choose either 2 of the same color camel to put out or 1 of 2 different colors to put out. And then what you're going to do is make this caravan of camels, and you are trying to like encircle areas or go on these different tiles to collect them for victory points. Now, the game can be kind of, I don't want to say an eyesore, but very like whoa on the table and confusing, because everybody's gonna use all of the different colors of these camels. Like in this example right here, the rider is your player color. So this purple is going to have a blue, a red, a yellow, a green. So it can be sometimes very confusing when you're trying to look on the table and you see all the same colors of trying to find your caravan leaders and whatnot. But I think we have not played the original version, but this version of Through the Desert, we have grown to love very well. I do love all the little camel pieces and whatnot. The presentation of the board is awesome. But this is my 66th favorite game in the collection here, Through the Desert. Alrighty, moving on to number 65. We have Bark Avenue. Okay, Bark Avenue is a pick up and deliver a game, essentially what I want to say, where you are a dog walker and you are going around this board of New York City and you are going to these different locations. You are picking up these dogs, walking these dogs, right? And then like letting the dogs poop and take pictures of them and let them play with toys and stuff. And then after a certain number of turns, you are dropping these dogs back off at the house to go ahead and collect cash. And basically cash is victory points in this game, which what's cool is you can also spend that cash in order to get coffee and other different things in the game. So it's this, you get these tips, right? And then you have to decide, do I want to keep these tips for victory points or use these tips to kind of help me throughout the game? So it's this cool resource balance to the game. But this is a 10 plus, 1 to 5 players, 15 minutes per player. We do have the deluxe version of the game, and I will say the deluxe upgraded version makes it just feel so much better. You have those little squishy poop tokens. I think for me, the components here of the game is what ranks this game so high on my list. But I do enjoy this a lot better than Dog Park, because at 2 players, you do not have to add in a AI walker or anybody else. It is literally just you 2 guys on the board going around the map. So I do really enjoy that a lot better than Dog Park. So that's why this is ranked a little higher. But it essentially is almost the same thing as Dog Park, except there's no real like bidding. And so you still are going around to draft or pick up these dogs, go around and do certain things with them, and then dropping them back off. But this is Bark Avenue. All right, Bark Avenue, the board game right here, my 65th favorite game in our collection. All right, moving on to game number 64, we have Namiji. All right, Namiji is a I don't even know what to call this game. But this is I would say almost like a set collection game where you are a fisherman, right? And you are going out into the sea. This is in that Tokaido line here. And you're going to be going around the board and you are going to be trying to collect different sets of fish and different types of fish, the same colors of fish, while also trying to collect these different portraits of dolphins, octopuses, and whales. All right. This game is 30 to 45 minutes, 2 to 5 players in ages 8 plus. Now, for this game, I know I've talked about, we really don't like games where you have to add in a third player or like a third AI player. But for this one, it's actually not really that bad. Because you are just going to take the meeple of a different color and then you are just going to move that meeple a certain number of spaces. If you are the active player, you get to move that meeple wherever you would like, as many spaces ahead. So there's not a whole lot of maintenance that you have to do here at 2 players, and the simplicity of the game, really, I feel like adding in that AI person does not really change the game a whole lot or mess with the game at all. You still feel like you're able to do a lot of things. But Namiji for us, for me especially, is a very cozy, relaxing type game. You know, this is one of those games where when I just want to relax and just like almost meditate, right, I will bust out some Namiji, I'll put on some tranquil music, and then we'll just have a relaxing time and just enjoy myself while playing this. But a very beautiful presentation of a game. Again, this is Namiji from that Tokaido line, and this is my 64th favorite game in the collection. All right, moving on to game number 63, we have Planted. We picked this up at Target a while ago, a couple months ago actually, and this has been one of the staples in our collection. And essentially Planted, this is a 2 to 5 player game, ages 10 plus, and this is the retail version of the game, but I think the biggest praise that this game gets is for a retail version, you have a lot of wooden screen printed components, and so for the value of the game here is almost lovely. You have these little water droplet pieces that are just amazing, 20 to 30 minutes per player. But this is very reminiscent of Seven Wonders. This is going to be a drafting type game where you're going to have a hand of cards. You're going to select one card, pass it around, and then activate that card, then select another card and put it down. And what you're trying to do is you are going to use these cards to get resources to kind of water your plants or feed your plants, or you can kind of use these cards to gain more plants into your collection. And so the overall premise is whoever scores the most victory points at the end of the game. You can do that through getting plants themselves and kind of watering and feeding these plants, or they have a bunch of different scoring objectives called decorations that you can use to score victory points as well. But this is a very solid game with that Seven Wonders mechanic. And what's really cool about it is you can play it at 2 players, where with Seven Wonders, right, you do have to have 3 players. But I think for a game with that mechanic, Planted with these beautiful resources, is a lovely game here. So my 63rd favorite game in the collection, we have Planted, a game of nature and nurture. All right, moving on to game number 62, we have After Us. And After Us is a deck building game, but with a kind of twist mechanic. I do love the overall mechanic of this game is you are matching up these different boxes. And so on your turn, you're going to draw 4 cards, lay them out in front of you, and then you get to kind of rearrange these cards in these different formations, however you would like, to basically get all these boxes to line up together, kind of like Tainted Grail. If you've ever played Tainted Grail, the combat system there, right, you want to mash these keys and complete a lot of these boxes. Now, the one flack this game has taken, the flack that a lot of people say with this game is basically this is a multiplayer solitaire game. There's not really a whole lot of player interaction because most of the time I'm putting my 4 cards, get out, I'm doing everything in a row, and then I'm getting my resources, and then we're going to the next person's turn on and on, right? So if you want more player interaction, then this is probably not the game for you. But this is 1 to 6 players, 45 minutes and ages 13 plus. And I do love that. I love really playing this game with people who've played it before, because what we can kind of do is all simultaneously, once we complete our boxes, get our resources, and that really speeds the game up a whole lot. But there's 4 different decks of primates that you can get. They all help you do different things. But for me, this is, I love deck building games, but with this one, what really stands out is this box mechanic of being able to shift these different cards around to complete a lot of these boxes. And so I think that's really cool, and I do not mind that solitaire aspect of the game at all. So this is my 62nd favorite game in the collection, After Us. All right, guys, we have made it to the very last game in today's video, number 61, Long Shot, the dice game. It's my understanding that this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive, but Long Shot, the dice game, is a roll and write game based upon horse betting. So 1 to 8 players, ages 14 and up, around 25 minutes, and probably a little more than that, like 30 to 45 minutes. But what you're doing is you are going to have 8 racehorses, versus, you are going to roll some dice, and there's going to be one dice with the horse numbers on there, and then the other dice is going to have regular numbers, and that will tell you the horse that is going to be moving that number of spaces. And so this game, my family really enjoys this game, and I like how we have kind of house ruled this game with my family. Now, the game can be somewhat complex when you get to these boards of like individual powers and getting jockeys and hats and things like that. The main way that me and my family really play this game is just we dumb it down and make it as simple as possible, where essentially the only thing that you can do is spend your money to buy horses, okay, or place bets on the horses, right? And I know that changes the game quite a lot, but for my family, my parents are older, and a lot of my family is older, and funny enough, my older family does really enjoy this game. I think that's how they really enjoy it, and it makes it really fun because they get excited, they get into it of rolling that dice. Well, I just put $20 down on horse number 7, why ain't he going, right? And it makes it simple for them to understand how the game is played. But I really enjoy this game a whole lot. When I'm in the mood to do some horse betting and get something excited, or every time we play this with my family, it is a lot of fun to play Long Shot, the dice game here. So this is my 61st favorite game in the collection, Long Shot, the dice game. Alrighty guys, so that is the conclusion of our video today. As always, go ahead and drop down in the comments below, do you guys own any of these games, and are they ranked any higher on your list, or are they ranked lower on your list? Why or why not? Love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on some of these games. If you guys like this content, please smash that like button and hit that notification bell. And as always guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.